The Boston Celtics may be the world's first perfect NBA team. Like, everything about them is just perfect. They are perfectly balanced, if you will, okay? Like, it is insane how good this team is. Now, I know it sounds like I'm glazing a little bit, okay? I might be sucking them off a little bit, but it is completely warranted, all right? Like, every bit of praise that they get is 100% warranted, and I'm not even a Celtics fan. I'm just an NBA fan, and they are literally a team with basically zero flaws at all. Like, look how they're built. So in the NBA, there's two ways to really build a finals contending team. One of those ways is to build a big three, where you have one superstar, two all-stars, and then you just have a very good team around them, aka like the Milwaukee Bucks method of building a contender. Or you can go this route where the Boston Celtics have decided they're going to get two superstar level players and then build an extremely well-rounded roster around them. And that is exactly what they have done to probably as good as an extent as you can possibly do it. Because like I said, they have two superstars, one being Jason Tatum, who is legitimately an MVP caliber player, one of the best players in the entire NBA, impossible to guard. He can do anything you want to do on the court. He's literally probably a top 15, top 12 player in the entire NBA. And then you have Jaylen Brown, who is probably the best shooting guard in the NBA right now as well. He can also do everything and guard pretty much everywhere on the court. He's very athletic. He can score everywhere. He can just do literally anything you want. So both of them, those are your stars. Those are the ones that you're going to get most of your production out of, obviously. And they're the people that make the motor run. But then you look how their team is actually built outside of their stars. They have guys like Malcolm Brogdon, who just won Sixth Man of the Year. You have last year's Defensive Player of the Year in Marcus Smart. You have one of the most underrated guards in the entire NBA in Derek White, who's a very good two-way player and can just do a lot of things. You have Al Horford, who's one of the best veteran rebounding floor spacing bigs you can possibly ask for. He hits huge threes when you need him to. He's never going to get rattled. He's just an extremely solid player to have. You have Robert Williams, an extremely good, very intimidating paint presence who can score. He can rebound. He can block shots. He can basically do a little bit of everything. Grant Williams is an absolute knockdown three-point shooter to spread the floor. You have guys like Sam Hauser who can do a lot of things. And then even if you look at the reserves on this team, you have guys like Peyton Pritchard and Blake Griffin, who all have tons of NBA experience and can 100% give you solid minutes if you absolutely need to, if someone goes down with an injury or something. And with all that combined, it really does build one of the deepest teams in the entire NBA. Because I would argue Peyton Pritchard is probably the best reserve in the playoffs right now. Like, he is, although not a star or anything, he's an extremely good role player that would probably be playing for almost any other playoff team right now. And it is just very, very good overall how well they are built. And you really can't say that you have a Sixth Man of the Year, an MVP level player, two All-Stars, and on top of that, you have the Sixth Man of the Year as well. There's almost no team ever that can probably say that. I would imagine they're the first team that has all those rewards on one team, and that is exactly what they have in the Boston Celtics. And like I said, there's just no team in the league that can compete with that type of depth. So they have one of the best duos in the entire NBA, and they have one of the best just rosters in the NBA, which is almost impossible to beat. And what are the results of this team being put together? Well, it comes at the fact that they have the second best offense in the entire NBA and the third best defense in the entire NBA in terms of efficiency, which is extremely, extremely valuable, because if you look back on history of NBA Finals winners, the vast majority of them are top 10 in both offense and defensive efficiency. And with them being top 3 in both, it shows you how good of a team this is and how just special of a team that is, and how rare it is for a team to have as few flaws as they do. And if you look at the rest of the playoff landscape this year, what teams do you have beating Boston? Like, in my opinion, the only one you can even make an argument for is a fully healthy Milwaukee Bucks team, but with Giannis kind of struggling with a back injury, if he doesn't come back fully healthy or all the way himself, I don't think Milwaukee stands a chance against Boston. And if even he is fully healthy, it's pretty much a coin flip series at that point, because Milwaukee is also a very well-built team with very few flaws. So I think both of them would be put together a 7-game series that's very, very fun. But I think overall, like, that's the only team that even has a chance of beating them. And even then, I would still give the edge to Boston, in my opinion. So I just think for sure that when only one team can even think about beating you in a 7-game series in the entire playoffs, you are a special team. And the only other team in recent history that even compares to this is when Golden State Warriors had Kevin Durant, and it was like they just stand no chance. But even them, they were just off of pure star power alone, just unbeatable. But they didn't have the best depth around them. And now I'm not saying that team was bad by any means, obviously, but I'm just saying that the Boston Celtics did it the right way, and their whole team is good. It's just literally, it's insane how a team can have literally zero weakness. Like, if you look at teams like Phoenix, they have all the star power you could possibly want, but their bench is very, very bad. You look at the Milwaukee Bucks, yes, they're a very well-built team, but maybe the very end of their bench isn't that good. Their coaching is been suspect. Giannis's health, like, they just have a few things that are just not 100% there. Drew Holiday might not be on the same caliber as like Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. Chris Middleton's been underperforming. Like, you can look at flaws in all these other high-level contending teams, but with the Boston Celtics, if you look at their roster, you literally cannot poke a hole in it in basically anywhere. The only flaw that they had in like blemish was the fact that Robert Williams went down with an injury for a while, and if he can stay healthy like he is right now, I don't think there's a blemish you can put on him. But unfortunately, guys, that's my first video. So comment below, do you agree with me? You think Boston's a perfect team? What do you think they could do better if they could? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you have a point, hit the like button and subscribe button in the absolute road to me. And I hope you have a blessed day, because I have a blessed day, so you need to have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah, blah.